The answer about where are African Association meetings going is probably a different answer today, standing here in the middle of COVID-19, than it would have been 3 weeks ago. I think the meetings industry as a whole is challenged by this because the experts that I'm talking to, number one, have for 30 years been saying it will be these sorts of viruses and we're going to get more and more of them. Because as human population continues to grow, we are rubbing up against wildlife everywhere in the world. That creates the opportunity for these diseases to jump from the wild animals into humans. So if that is true, and if one of the answers to deal with this is to not have large-scale public events, we in the live events industry have a challenge on our hands. How are we going to continue to put on major events if there is a concern about infectious diseases? So I think that's something we haven't quite come to grips with. I think we're kind of, as an industry, hoping this is going to be over soon and we can all go back to what it was. I'm not sure that's accurate. And I think as an industry, we better grapple with what does that really mean for us. If that weren't the case, I'm totally bullish on live events all over the world because we know the value of them. And as we get free trade happening across the African continent, and as we get open skies, and as we develop our association community here in Africa, that creates the opportunity for even more global events to come onto the African continent. That means bigger and better meetings and events and educational association meetings than ever before. So I think that's the opportunity. Now we're living through a risk right now. And we're not sure how that's going to play out. Short term or long term, if this becomes the new normal. That this becomes part of our new normal, which the scientists are telling us, yes it is, and they've been saying actually for 30 years what eventually does in the human race is a virus and a pandemic. That will eventually be the big one. In the meantime, we're getting these scares that seem to be coming with greater frequency, and if one solution to try and protect the population is don't go to large public gatherings, stay home, don't travel, we're in trouble as an industry. And that's where I think we need to kind of come together and really strategize how are we going to defend and protect our industry in the face of this threat, because it is conceivably an existential threat to the live event industry. If we can't get people together, it's not safe to get people together, what are we going to do? How are we going to provide education? How are we going to provide what people value about being in a room like this? Networking, learning more. Everything that happens can really only happen when we come together as humans. Well, now that may be a challenge to our own health. And how we respond to that is going to be the big question.